Are you all right to get in close, like you're a really close group? You got to really huddle in, like.
If I get in too close to the ground, I might get lost.
Like, yeah, squeeze in. Let's turn this a little bit. Right, October Red Boxing here with a debutant from the North East with his trainer and his manager. Introduce yourselves for us, because I haven't met you before.
I'm Calum, ex-GB boxer, 2-time senior EBA champion. European bronze medalist.
Okay, you're putting him in his place. Let's meet the trainer, the man with the plan.
Graham Rutherford, head coach at Berkeley Boxing.
And finally, last but not least, we've got the manager here as well.
Charlie Sims, founder of Huge Boxing, managers the Stars.
We've just seen your public workout. You're a debutant. Like you said, you were on Team GB. Tell us a little bit about that and how you've ended up turning pro.
So I was trying to go to the Olympics in 2020, but I just missed out on that Olympics. So
They changed the weights, so he missed out on the weights because he was boxing at a weight that didn't exist anymore.
I didn't quite get to go to the Olympics, so the next step was to turn pro.
Your trainer's mentioned there about a weight that didn't exist anymore. How does that work? Because I thought the weights were quite rigid and they would be as they are.
So there was 11 weight classes, but because of gender equality, the Olympic Committee wanted to add 2 weights to the women's, so they had to in turn take 2 weights out of the men's, and mine was one of them weights, so I missed out on them.
Okay, and how long were you preparing to go to that?
I got on Team GB in 2015, so 4 or 5 years. I was number 1 at 60 kilo, and then it was taken out the year before.
Okay, I mean, you're here now, you've turned pro, but that's quite a long time to be on a team for them to say, okay, that weight category doesn't exist anymore. They do say everything for a reason, but how did that make you feel at the time when you first heard that?
I was sickening at the time, but it was one of them. It was out of my control. There was nothing I do about it. So it was just, what's the next move? What's the next step? And that was to turn pro.
So I'll put it to his trainer then. Obviously, you've been with him. In fact, how long have you been training your fighter?
Since he was 11 or 12.
So not long at all then.
He's only 34 now.
I knew I was going to have some banter with you. So you've been training him, you've been with him, you've seen him go off to obviously the GB squad, and then all that happens. I don't know, how did that make you feel as a trainer?
Very bitter, but boxing's very political, and sometimes you just got to accept it. I felt sorry for him because the kid that went at that weight was also from our club, so I was like a bit sickening for him because he trains hard, he's dedicated. And he was European bronze medalist as well. He's underselling himself a bit, so I was gutted for him. He's ranked number 8 in the world as well as an amateur, so I was gutted for him.
But we're here now, and then we get the manager involved. So what brought this young man to your attention?
Well, I've known Calum a long time. I first really see him compete in the Gold Coast, Australia, for the Commonwealth Games. Got talking to him, watched him for a while, was absolutely certain he was going to go to the Olympics. Obviously it didn't happen. And then the next real step for him was to turn pro. And I think we was talking about him turning professional and where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do. And turning over with Matchroom was just the best route for him, really. But I think we're talking to a future star. I think he's going to be a force in the 140 division. I think he's going to be the face of the North East. So remember this video, because we're going to be watching this back one day when he's a world champion.
I like that, because that gives me a little bit of kudos for getting this video in as well. But anyway, enough about me. Talk to me about your style then. Your manager then says that you're special, you're something that is going to stand out. Years to come, people are going to be looking back on you and your style and your achievements. What is so special about you?
My boxing brain. I'm a clever fighter. I like the art of boxing, the hitting and not getting hit part of it, not just a proper brawl, you know what I mean? I like to think to myself as a bit of a pressure counter puncher, so hopefully we'll see some of that tomorrow, Saturday night, and hopefully see some hitting and not getting hit.
I will say that from your workout in there, you're a southpaw, and I saw you're quite defensive. You had that long arm out, ready to obviously keep your opponent off, and you can see that backhand's there just waiting for the counter. So I could see that with you. Is that something that your good trainers taught you here, or are you one of these boxers that has a trainer but you study fighting yourself?
Yeah, Graham's taught us everything I know really from being 12-year-old or something. But I'm in love with the sport as well, so I do watch a lot of boxing myself. I study the game, study loads of different fighters, and like to take like bits from all the different fighters around the world.
And when you say bits from different fighters around the world, who would you say are your top 2 fighters?
Errol Spence and Crawford.
Interesting choice, I like it. Listen, gentlemen, I know you've got other people to speak to. I wish you all the best on your debut. I'll be sat on my settee watching it. Unfortunately, I can't be there, but thank you for taking the time to speak to October Red Boxing.